Hi, I'm Ryan Szymanski, curator for Battleship New Jersey Museum and Memorial. And today is New Year's Day. Happy New Year's, you've survived another year. In last night's video, we did a recap of some of the cool things that we did in 2024. In tonight's video, we're going to talk about some of the things that we want to do in 2025. So let's start with the biggest thing. 2025 is the 250th anniversary of the founding of both the Navy and the Marine Corps. Both were founded right here in our area in Philadelphia. To celebrate this, there is an organization, Navy and Marine Corps Homecoming 250, which is partnering with the Navy and other local organizations to host a huge event in the Philadelphia and Camden area in fall of this year. Expect to hear from us about it all year long. But part of it is going to be a big fleet week that happens with the Navy bringing several ships up the Delaware River. Hopefully they're going to tie those ships up on either side here. They're going to have aviators do flybys, and they're going to have a lot of other programming happening around our area. So we're really excited by that, and really excited by the higher visitation that's likely going to bring along with it. We as a museum have been preparing for this for at least a half a decade. Several of our board members have been involved in the USA 250 planning, and we started thinking about this years and years ago, knowing that we were going to have higher visitation and wanting the ship to look her absolute best. So that's what really started the concerted efforts like redecking the ship, painting the freeboard, and oh yeah, that big one, dry docking the ship, which we managed to accomplish basically 1 year out, which really down to the wire there. We weren't sure if we were going to get it, but everything finally lined up just perfectly. So we have been intentionally doing all of this work to restore the ship and get the ship looking her absolute best with the most possible spaces open so that visitors can have the best possible experience later this upcoming year as that visitation increase happens around Fleet Week. So we're excited that we've been able to check off so many milestones, and we're looking forward to that huge upcoming event. Be sure to check out Navy and Marine Corps Homecoming 250's website and social medias. We've linked some of them down below so you can stay up to date on everything that's happening. Here on the channel, we'll tell you about how the Battleship's participating as those things fall into place over the next couple of months. Along that same line, some of the major restoration items that we have coming up that we haven't quite finished off yet include redecking the ship. This year, we finished the main deck, which is the bulk of the surface area. We have a lot of the superstructure done, but there's several kind of small patchy areas that we still have to do. So our carpenters are going to continue working throughout this year towards completing the superstructure deck. And as long as the funding keeps coming in, there's a strong chance that we'll finish it this year, and hopefully before USA 250. If not, we'll have certainly finished everything that's on the tour route by then. We've got some interior projects we want to complete during the same timeline so that they're ready to go by 250. One of those projects is opening part of our Marine Corps detachment berthing. Mardet was divided into two separate spaces, back aft by turret 3, down off of Broadway. So we're going to open at least one of those halves. You'll remember in our Christmas wish list episode, we talked about some of the Marine Corps gear that we're looking for to help outfit that space. So thank you to all of you who have already reached out with some of your stuff. It's only been a week and some of it's already started to roll in. So that's really kicked us into high gear towards opening that part of the ship. That's also going to allow us to open aft plot. Right now we have forward plot, which is down on 4th deck, open on guided tours, but self-guided visitors can't necessarily make it down there. It doesn't really fit on any of the tour routes really well. But aft plot is right down along Broadway, so as we extend the tour route down in that direction, you basically go right off of Broadway into that and into Marine Corps berthing. So we've got a couple of spaces lined up to do by then, and then there's still some spaces left to work on after that. I want to get a refrigerator open, I want to get aft steering open, and I'd love to get guests up to the '08 bridge level. But we're just focusing on one project at a time. Another major project that we're going to kick off here is Chief's Mess. You saw a video in the last week where we finally found photographs of that space from when the ship was in service, which fills in our knowledge of how that space is supposed to be outfitted so much more than it was. So now we're going to bump that to the head of the list and try and get some restoration work done in there. I absolutely loved dry docking the ship, but having that behind us now means that we've got more time to focus on the collection. And as we go through the collection, that's going to allow us to update our museum exhibits, and it's going to allow us to update some of the spaces that we currently interpret. And Chief's Mess is the perfect example of this. We went through a box of random pictures that we'd never seen before. People donated to us, and it went into a box during my predecessor's term, and it didn't get cataloged because of all the other work that was going on. And so we finally got the free time to go down and be, oh, what's in this box? And in that stack of pictures were these for Chief's Mess. And so that changed our priorities and added that to our list. I'm so excited to see what else we're going to find in our collection, or what else you guys are going to donate to us over the next year that is going to allow us to come up with new exhibits and change the interpretation of the spaces. Which is part of why this video we're talking about some of the things that we're going to be working on in the next couple of months. But by the end of the year, we'll be working on projects that we didn't even know we could do at this part of the year. Things we didn't even know we'd have funding for, but you donated towards. Things we didn't even know we had artifacts for, but you donated. Things we didn't even know that we had documentation for, but we were able to find in our collections. So we're so excited for that as it comes up. Speaking of new exhibits, we do have a couple of new exhibits planned that we're hoping to get done by USA 250 when we have that increased visitation. One of the exhibits that will absolutely get done is in partnership with Navy History and Heritage Command, and we're super excited to host one of their exhibits. This exhibit is called Support Any Friend, and it looks at the Navy's history during the World War II, Korea, and Vietnam time period, so squarely within the service life of this ship, and we're excited to host it on board. Finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that we're going to get some traveling done in 2025, but much like things we'll find in the collection space, oftentimes our travel plans come up last minute. We know for sure that we're going to Buffalo in September, so it'll be cool to go back and see the work that they've done in, it's been, what, a year and a half since we were last there? Well, it's been about a year since we were last there. It'll probably have been a year and a half by the time we make it there again. So super excited to see the work that they've done on their ships. We're definitely going to see some other ships, and I'm hoping that we make it outside the United States this year to visit some foreign museum ships. I've been on probably 3/4 of the museum warships in this country. I've only got one destroyer left. I've been on every carrier, battleship, and cruiser. About 3/4 of the submarines, and then there's some smaller ships I haven't made it on yet as well. That are certainly still on my list, and we're going to knock some of them off this year, as well as returning to some of the fan favorite ships. But I've never been on an international museum ship, and I'm excited to start doing that. With your support, we're going to be able to make that happen. So, what sort of content are you excited in seeing in the upcoming year? Let us know in the comment section down below. What's some spaces you'd like to see open, some topics you'd like to see covered in exhibits? Let us know all that in the description down below. There's still time to add it to our 2025 list. And of course, I'm not planning on going anywhere. Maybe we'll knock it out in 2026 or 2027. Battleship New Jersey receives operating support from the New Jersey Department of State, also from a number of other businesses and private individuals like yourselves. We really appreciate your support. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to donate to support the museum and our big upcoming plans in 2025. You can also support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing so more people find about the museum and our channel. Thanks for watching.